I'm Max from Alien Camo. Today I have Steve Alexander and John Nechay.
Hello.
Hi, from Crime Stoppers, along with Goodwin Hon from the Host Badminton Group. We have some exciting news to share with you. There's upcoming badminton charity events coming up, and we would like to share more details with you. Goodwin is the organizer of this event. Please share with us more about this event.
Absolutely. So definitely it's my pleasure to represent the Host Badminton Group to organize and promote this event on July 5th, 2021. There will be a fundraising badminton tournament at KC Richmond Hill Badminton Club, support of Crime Stopper. We have three simple objectives. First is to promote recreational badminton. Second is to bring positive energy through our group to all players in the community. And the third one is to bring everyone to, throughout this event to support and to give back to this society.
Thank you, Goodwin. So, Goodwin, why did you choose Crime Stopper as the beneficiary this year?
Yes, right. There are actually two major aspects that is touching the bottom of my heart. Need not me to say, I think this is quite a common understanding from the public too, and it's a concern that crime rate is going higher and higher throughout the year. And for my personal experience and throughout my friends' experience, their cars got hijacked, their store got broken, house got robbed as well. And I was actually in the auto industry for many years doing collections and reparation. Seeing all this vehicle being stolen throughout the year, like from COVID time all the way to now, it's going up high. So I would like to take this opportunity to say thanks, Crime Stopper, and also thanks to John and Steve. And they've been very helpful, especially for this event. They've been very prompt, responding to all my requests and inquiries. Being very supportive in any kind of resources as well.
Okay, thank you, Goodwin. So now return the time to Steve and John from Crime Stopper. So can you please tell us a bit more about Crime Stopper and how it all began?
You want me to take this one, John?
Go ahead.
Okay. Again, thank you for reaching out to us. We're more than happy to help and support this event. So Crime Stoppers on it. John and I are both sworn police officers. I know we don't have our kit on right now. We don't have anything like that identifies us as a police officer, but Crime Stoppers started back in 1976. And the cool thing is it was actually invented by a Canadian, Greg McAleese from Picton, Ontario, actually. He came up with a concept. So he was born there, but his mom and dad kind of moved around. I think they were a military family. They ended up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And so in 76, he was a detective in a homicide unit. And even back then, the police always have a lot of really good resources and stuff that you see in TV shows and movies that help us solve crime. But the biggest thing we rely on is the community. That is the absolute number one thing we rely is information from the public. When stuff happens, people see it. And then we rely heavily on you folks to come to us with information. He was investigating a homicide that happened at a gas station. A young gas station attendant was robbed and shot and killed, unfortunately. So he was investigating that. After a couple of weeks, he's exhausted all of his resources. Like he came up to a wall, essentially, in the investigation. And this happened in broad daylight on a very, very busy intersection. Lots of people around, and he understood, even back then, like fast forward to today's society, there's obviously a lot of very different polarizing views on policing and how to help. Even back then, he could understand that, sometimes folks are apprehensive to come forward with information for various different reasons. One of the biggest reasons we've heard is because, well, if I know information about this bad guy, I don't want the bad guy to know that I gave the information to help solve the crime, right? You don't want that to happen. And so as police officers, you'll see a lot of us out there a lot of the time, whenever we speak to people for the most part in the community, a lot of the times we have to take information down. We have to take your name, your date of birth, stuff like that. And a lot of that has to do with our authority. Some people, like today, like I said, we're not wearing our uniform, but just the uniform itself may make people feel like they have to be compelled to give information. And so when we are speaking with folks, we typically have to write down on this date at this time, we spoke with so-and-so. And a lot of people don't want to give their information out. They just want to help. So the light bulb went on. He said, well, listen, I know somebody saw something for sure. So he went to his chief and got permission and said, listen, I want to create a toll-free phone number where we don't take anybody's information down. You can remain completely anonymous. You don't have to attend court. You don't have to do witness statements. You don't have to do anything. Just call, give us the information. And then he took, I think it was $350 at that time, which was, to me, it's a lot of money now. But at that time, it's a lot of money out of his own paycheck, and said, I'm offering this as a reward. He had those two ideas. And then he had a bit of corporate communications background back then as an officer. And he leveraged his relationships with the local TV station. And he said, listen, let's do a reenactment. Let's put it on TV. We'll offer the public total anonymity and dangle a reward. Let's see if this works. So within 24 hours, they had the case solved. So
Wow.
they put this on air. And in addition to that, a whole bunch of other people started calling, not even about that case, but about other cases. And a whole bunch of other cases got solved that they weren't even advertising to get help from the public. So that's when he said, we have something here. We have to offer the public something where they can feel completely safe, no matter what their views are on the police or where like some people come from different countries where the police are very corrupt. Like there's so many different reasons. Here's a safe venue for you to give us information just to keep our communities safe, to make everybody feel safe. That's how Crime Stoppers started. And it's international now. We're obviously Crime Stoppers York Region. It formed in 1986. And since then, it's been an incredibly, incredibly powerful tool to help solve crime. So the way it works is you've got the police department, you've got the media, so now social media too, but like television, radio, media partners, and Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers are not part of the police department. They are a completely separate nonprofit organization. It's a charity, which is why you're helping us out. We really appreciate that. So none of the board of directors that run Crime Stoppers are police officers. It's in fact in their bylaws. The only reason John and I are wearing these fancy golf shirts right now is because they have a partnership with the police department. So the police department loans John and I, they pay our salaries, our office space and stuff, but we help facilitate when the tips come in. John and I, having over 20 years experience each, we kind of know where these tips should go. And one of the biggest pieces of responsibility of John and I is, even though when tips come in, either we have a toll-free phone number or a website that you'll see later that you can submit tips. Nothing is logged, no IP addresses, nothing like that. We are the only two that see it. It's separate software that even our chief of police can't see. Like, it's just us. And when we look at these tips, we ensure that sometimes people will accidentally say, hey, my name is Steve. I live here and I know that this bad stuff is happening. We will edit that. We'll redact that information out. So even anything we feel as though could possibly identify the tipster, we redact, we eliminate before we send to our friends to investigate. Then our friends have a certain amount of time to get back to us with a result. And we have the capability, just John and I, to communicate back and forth with the tipsters, even though we don't know who they are. It's all software. So once you submit a tip, you get a fancy little code. If you log back in with your code, you can leave us a message and we can leave you messages. And that's how we communicate back and forth. If the information you provide leads to an arrest, we offer rewards. So we'll also communicate, hey, thank you so much for this tip. This is what happened because of it. And then we will facilitate getting you paid cash for your reward, up to $2,000. $2,000. That's a lot. I talk a lot. That's
That's great
nutshell.
information, because the community, a lot of them, they don't know anything about Crime Stopper. They think it's government agency. And thank you so much for the information that we know that we can do something to support the community
Absolutely.
through Crime Stopper. With the challenges we're seeing today, how does Crime Stopper support the community during this difficult time? John, would you like to share with us?
Some of the trends that we're seeing today is that the public, when there is a crime or they witness a crime, they're not too excited about going to the police and letting them know what they saw. It could be for multiple reasons. Some don't have the time to take off work and attend court, give statements and stuff like that. And as Steve mentioned earlier, maybe repercussions of the person they may be reporting the crime on. What Crime Stoppers does is we try to get out there and let the public know that it is not the police. That is the biggest message that we have. We are a civilian-run nonprofit charitable organization, and we want to get the message out that whatever information the public decides to provide to Crime Stoppers, it is 100% completely anonymous. You do not have to take time out of your day to go to court to testify. You don't have to go to the police station and deal with any police officers if you don't want to. If it's a crime that warrants it and you want to, then of course they go feel free and go to the police, right to the police. But if it's something that they don't want to let anybody know that they gave the information, then it is a great way to get the information to us. Like Steve said, we redact it and make sure there's no identifying information in there, and then we pass it on to the police. Once it's passed on to the police, they will follow it up to see if it's legitimate information or not. And if it is, then they will act on it. And like Steve said, if there's an arrest, then it's up to a $2,000 reward. This helps in multiple different ways. I mean, first of all, it does make our community a lot safer because we're able to act on these different crimes that's happening in the public. The police can't be everywhere at once. We rely, Crime Stoppers, the police, we rely heavily on the public to get that information to us. It prevents crimes. It brings people to justice that have committed crimes, and it also helps prevent crimes that are starting. If they're seeing a trend of, let's say, dirt bikes or something in an area, they'll start letting us know, there's dirt bikes, and then we can get involved, let the police know, and hopefully they can intervene before anyone gets hurt, or carjackings or break-and-enters and stuff like that. So that's a really good way that people can get the information to the police without getting involved with the police. They can come to us through Crime Stoppers, either through the telephone or the website. So that's what we're doing to help make our community safer.
Thank you so much, John, for the information. So how important is public support to Crime Stopper?
I'm going to take this one, John.
It's all yours.
All right. Cool. It's essential. It is absolutely essential to Crime Stoppers program and to the police department, but it is essential. I think I mentioned it. The Crime Stoppers of York region, just where we live, just our community, since 1986, solely because of the community's support, providing information, we have seized over $170 million worth of illegal drugs. Around the same amount, about $174 million worth of stolen property you had mentioned in your sector. A lot of that coming from the auto industry. Over 3,000 arrests. That's just York region. We win awards internationally because of the public. It has nothing to, John and I are great. But because of the community, that it is solely because of you folks giving the information to us and then giving it to our awesome investigators and then not having to worry about anything. You've just done a good thing. You're like, I don't have to worry about court. I don't have to worry about dealing with police cars coming up to my driveway to walk in and take statements from us. It's just doing what you feel is right, keeping your community safe. It is a massive, massive impact. The community is everything. It is everything to us. And that's why we really enjoy, that's our primary job, is to get out into the community. John and I don't do any investigating whatsoever. We eat, sleep, and breathe the Crime Stoppers program, attending charity functions, supporting charity functions, trying to do our own fundraise. That's the main job, is us trying to do, because there's no grants, there's no support or anything like that. It just all comes from the community. So we truly appreciate all the help and support. So yeah, it's everything.
Thank you, Steve. Do you have any upcoming events to share with us?
There's an awesome badminton event coming up soon, I think.
Oh,
I don't want to steal. Okay.
We host several things a year. Some of our bigger ones, for example, sometimes we have fundraisers that we're organizing, and sometimes it's just education back to the community. For example, once a year we hold what's called a student symposium. That's hosted at the Newmarket Theatre, and we provide transportation to about 400 students from all different schools in York region. We transport them there. Once they arrive there, they're given some swag, some Crime Stopper stuff. They take their seats in the theater, and they're presented with up to 3. Sometimes we had motivational speakers, and they speak about the dangers and the trends that maybe teenagers are experiencing and what's trending at the certain time. So it's very educational for the youth. We feed them lunch at lunchtime. There's prizes also. So Steve can touch on this a little bit more, but I mean, go ahead, Steve. Talk about the curriculum. If you
Yeah, it's. I think this symposium has been well before John and I started to help out with the group. It's been running for about 15 years. We brought in this year guest speakers from the FBI to come in and speak to kids on the dangers of sexploitation on their phones. So a lot of what I didn't even know, like I have a teenage son, and it's a lot of teenage boys are being targeted now by these fraudsters with the AI and how powerful this is. It's hard to know who's real out there. So we had the experts flown in to speak to these kids to say, hey, listen, like this is what you should look for, and don't send pictures when they ask you to send pictures. And then if they try to extort money out of you, they went through the whole thing. So it was really important. But because of the success and the power of for the past 15 years of us doing this, we've now been implemented into both school boards' curriculums. So we've been approved. So the students actually have the opportunity to create a project on Crime Stoppers based on the theme that we're doing for the year. And it's a competition. It's a fun little contest. So this year we did it's like a social media contest, create a viral TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, whatever you want, a viral social media video speaking to youth, people your own age. Because again, I know we're really cool, but my son will tell me I'm not cool enough to post on social media. So it comes best from the kids their own age when they try to communicate and they try to educate. So come up with a viral TikTok or social media video on, and this year it was exploitation and Crime Stoppers, how you can use Crime Stoppers to report it. The top videos and like image posts, we give a Crime Stoppers reward, cash, to those kids. So when they show up, we surprise them. Their teacher brings them up on stage. We bring our chief of police or our deputy to shake their hand, give them a big check, and then actually give them and their group a cash reward to say thank you. And obviously we post it on our website and stuff. So we also John and I also go to the school to help the kids while they're working on the project. We'll say, hey, like what we're doing right now, we'll talk a little bit about Crime Stoppers. We brought in some experts with us from our domestic violence and our internet child exploitation unit to accompany us and just break down barriers too. It's good to see police in different ways and trying to be supportive that way. So anyways, it's been fantastic. And
It's a meaningful program.
Absolutely.
It's really cool.
That's very smart, using the language and speak to their own.
Absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
part of the giving back to the community. So we have
Right.
fundraiser too, what Steve will talk about our next event too.
Mhm.
So that we raise the money for that so we can give back. Every penny of our money goes right back into educating the public, letting them know we're here. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it is to make our community safer to live in.
Yes. Thank you, John, and thank you, Steve, for sharing the information with us. And Goodwin, is there any additional information we would like to share?
Absolutely. So just make it long story short, I wish everyone would come visit our IG. All you have to do is type in the Host Badminton, probably not all the way, but you will be able to find our account with badminton sign, black and white. Over there, I strongly recommend and invite all you to become registered as a player. Or second, you become a fundraiser. There's a link over there with instructions how to do it. Very simple to support Crime Stopper. And then the third one is neither one or two, you can become a sponsor to motivate the entire event so we can have more players to come, more fundraisers to support the event, and also Crime Stopper, make the entire community to be having a very positive mindset. Once again, I want to say again, like, thank you very much, John and Steve, for this great support. And we're going to run this event annually. So hopefully next year we can make it bigger with more noises and, all this, contribution goes to the society through Crime Stopper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So now you know about this event. You can also make a difference too by joining as a player in this tournament or become a sponsor. With your support, you can make the community more caring and safer. And once again, thank you so much, Steve and John, for being with us, and also Goodwin. So we look forward to seeing you at KC Richmond Hill on July 5th for the badminton tournament in support of Crime Stopper. Bye.
Bye.